Hey everybody, it's Mike here. Welcome to the channel. Well, in the last video we created this coffee table, and next up we're going to create a couch, right? So before we dive into the modeling bit, I have a question. When it comes to these videos, I realize that there's a decline in people needing or watching these videos because everything seems to be AI nowadays. And I'm wondering whether you appreciate the videos or not, right? Just drop me a comment if you like this kind of content, if you want me to continue to make this kind of content. All right, that said, let's go and model a couch. All right, so we're going to do that in the same style as the coffee table, so we need to kind of keep that in mind. But that said, I'm going to hide all of this so it's not in our way. We're going to hit Control H to hide that, and we're going to get started. All right, so I'm going to start with the side panel. I'm going to grab a cube, hit R, scale it out, and I don't have to worry about scale just yet. I can adjust that later. Squish that in a little bit. Right click on a face, grab the end faces and get rid of that, like so. And maybe just stretch it up a little bit. So that's one. We're going to hit W, we're going to raise that up. Two about there. Then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to move that down. Two about there. But that one we're going to tweak a little bit. So we're going to go in here. That's not the view I want. I want this view. Yep. So we got one up there, one down there. On the bottom one, we're going to go to Insert Edge Loop. And we're going to add, let's do 10 edges. We're going to go in here and we're going to bring them in like so. Hit Q on the keyboard, right click, go to vertex, and we're going to start to shape this a little bit into a curve, right? So we're going to bring this down, and then bring that down a little bit to, let's say, there. Then we're going to skip two in the middle, bring those down, skip one and skip hang on. So what we're going to do next is we're going to grab these, we're going to bring it down a little bit, then we're going to grab that one and that one, bring it down a bit further. You get the idea. Kind of create an arch. Like that. All right, cool. So the ends are open because we're not going to see those faces. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go up to Windows, Settings, Preferences, and Preferences. And I'm going to change my my meters to centimeters, right? Then I'm going to close this out. I'm going to grab these two in object mode, and I'm going to make them a lot smaller. Actually, let's hit that as a group, otherwise it's going to change the setup. And we're going to go down a little bit more, so we don't have that clipping and that black stuff and whatnot. All right, so there we go. We're going to right click, go to Edge, get rid of that. Take all of these edges, hit Bevel, 0.1 and 3 segments. Then we're going to grab this guy, and we're basically going to do the same. So we're going to get an edge, we're going to drag select all of them, then we're going to shift select these, and we're going to hit bevel 0.1 and 3. So there's that. Then we need to have verticals. So I'm just going to borrow this guy, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold on J, flip it on its side, hit W, bring that down, scale it in, and then we're going to go and have a look from, I think, from this view right here, no, from this view, of course, right. I'm going to hit 5 so we can see what's going on. We're going to hit W, we're going to raise it up until that's touching, then we're going to go to vertex, push that down until that's touching, then we're going to go to object mode, we're going to move this over here, hit Control D to duplicate, move this over, and then hit Shift D a bunch of times, then we're going to grab all of them, Control G, go to modify and center pivot, then we're going to hold down X and we're going to snap it to the center, so this is all good. Yeah, looking fine. Okay, next up we are going to create something to cover this side right here, right? Now there's going to be an armrest on the top here, so we're going to have to make sure that that aligns. So we're going to grab another cube, and I think I can just borrow this one again. Why not? E to rotate, flip it around, and flip it around like so. Hit W, push that forward, push that down. And it's not fully rotated, looks like. Yep. Push it out a tiny bit. So it's a little bit too long. So we're going to go to vertex and we're going to kind of push that up like so. All right. And then we're going to put some shape in here, right? So we're going to go to object mode, we're going to insert edge loop, we're going to add 10, Q on the keyboard, then we're going to right click on the vertex, and let's do that from here, after frame. Let's get rid of that camera. Hide the camera, there you go. We're going to go in here, we're going to grab this guy, go to vertex, we're going to W, we're going to push this out, and I basically just want to have a little bit of a shape at the top there. Like that, right? Okay. Now, what we're going to do from here is we're going to go to object mode, we're going to go to mesh and smooth. So we'll have something looking like this. We're going to grab this guy, Control D to duplicate, W to move, F to frame, move until it's aligned at this end. Yep. Grab the whole thing. Let's hit Control G to group, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, flip it around, hit W and move it over. And now we're going to eyeball this, grab them both, group that. What's that all about? I'm not sure. Control G, modify center pivot, jump to the top, F to frame, W, hold on X. There you go. Now we need some cross bracing, so we're going to grab another cube. We're going to hit R, we're going to scale that out. Let's go back a little bit. Like that, that's fine. After frame, get rid of these ends. Go to face mode. That's gone, and that's gone. Take this guy, scale it down, push it in, pull it forward. After frame that. Alright, so we're going to make that thinner. Push it in here. W, bring it down. Let's look at the height here. So that looks okay, but it's a bit high. So we're gonna grab that top here. We're gonna push that down to about there. That looks good. Then we're gonna go to object mode. We're gonna Control D to duplicate, W to move back. After frame, and we want that at the end as well. All right, cool. Now we need to make a backrest that's kind of slanting a little bit. So, and we'll deal with the armrests accordingly in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these, Control D to duplicate, move, after frame here. We're going to bring that in, we're going to rotate it like so. Then we're going to right click the vertex, drag select. We're going to raise that up to about here, and then we're going to push it back to about there. Nothing crazy. There you go, right? Now, with this, we're going to do is we're going to right click, we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, W to move to about there, hit Shift D a bunch of times, rather too many. We can always get rid of them, right? We're going to Control G to group. We're going to go to modify and center pivot. Then we're going to jump to the top. We are going to hit W, hold on X, snap it right there. So that's what we have so far. Then we can borrow this guy. Or let's see, am I going to borrow that? Yeah, I can. Control D to duplicate, W to move up. And then we're going to have a look from this view after frame. And we want this to rotate a little bit. So hit E, rotate. W, and bring it in like so. I'm going to right click, go to edge, sorry, edit mesh, and sorry, mesh and fill hole. G to repeat last command. We need to scale the whole thing out just a tiny bit. Let's see if we're aligned or not. It's sticking a little bit, but that's okay. I kind of like that. So there we go. Then we're going to go in here to edge, and we're going to grab that edge and that edge. We're going to bevel. We're going to add some segments. Right? And we'll get something looking like this. Now, of course, this is one giant n-gon right here as well. But we're not texturing this, we're not animating it, so I'm not going to deal with that right now. That's not what the video is about. but normally you would make sure you did not have that end gone, right? Just to be clear on that. Okay, we're gonna go with the armrests, and let's see, yeah. So the armrests, we're gonna start with the cube. Hit W, bring that in, raise that up, and I'm just kind of making this up as we go along. So all right, let's look at it from the top. After frame, hit W, bring that in here, like so. We're gonna go to vertex, we're gonna drag select, and we're gonna stretch that out a little bit. And it can have a little bit more width because I want it to kind of stick out a little bit. So we'll do this. Let's see if that looks okay. And then we're gonna hit W and we're gonna push this back. See what we got. All right. So this is gonna go onto this after frame. That's looking good. Now here, that's going to be, or should be, connected to the back, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to right click on the vertex. We're going to push this until it's connected, basically, right? Then what we're going to do is take this edge, bevel. Let's increase the number of segments. That looks good. And then what we'll do here is we'll take these as well. We'll hit bevel and we'll give it some subdivision. All right. Then we're going to go in here and we're going to select these edges. Then we're going to jump to this view and we're going to shift select these. And we're going to bevel, and let's do 2 segments, so get something looking like this, which looks good to me. Now we need one on the other end as well, so we're going to Control D, W to move, E to flip, hold down J, W, bring that over. Try to get it to there. Select them both. Control G. It's centered. That's good. So we have that. Now it's time for pillows, and normally there would be a frame in the bottom, and we're not going to see that ever, so we're not going to model that. Now the back of this is a different thing because we are going to see that, so that's why, right? Okay, so we're going to grab a cube, and the idea is to get 3 pillows that perfectly fit here, right? So I'm going to kind of see what I can do. So we're going to bring that up, and we are going to, yeah, we're going to do that. Let's look at the size here. It can be a bit bigger. So we'll stick out in the front a little bit like so. That's right. Let's turn this into something that looks like a pillow. So we're going to go to edge. We're going to drag select all of this. We're going to hit bevel. Let's do 0.15. Let's do 4. And then we're going to go to insert edge loop. Let's do 6 and 6 and 6. Q on the keyboard. All right. It's fairly square, but we're gonna tweak that in a little bit, right? Actually, it's too square. Let's go back. That looks better, right? Okay, insert edge loop, 6, 6, 6, and we'll make that work, right? Okay, so we've got this. We're gonna hit 3 to preview smooth. Yep. We're gonna hit W, we're gonna move it back. And like I said, we need 3 of these, and that needs to be a perfect fit. So I'm gonna push this back to about there. Control D to duplicate. I'm gonna move it over until it's almost touching, and then I'm gonna hit Shift D. So we're at 3, right? Then we're gonna hit 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go to Mesh and Combine. I'm gonna hit W, hold on X, snap to the center, and now I'm gonna start to scale it down, right? Until the 3 pillows fit perfectly within the frame. That looks to be good, right? So now we need to extend them forward. So let's do that. We're gonna hit W, we're gonna push it down to about there. Let's have a look. Looks good to me. Needs to be extended a little bit more. Maybe even more than that. That's good. Raise it up tiny bit. So there you go. Excuse me. We're going to Control D to duplicate. We're going to hit E to rotate. Hold on J, and we're going to flip it up straight first. Then we're going to go and have a look here. Hit W, raise that up. Push it back. Now we're going to hit E, and we're going to start to rotate it until it's level with the backrest there. Bring that in to right there. Bring it down a bit. So that's what we have. Now I feel that the backrest is a bit too high, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to hit R, and we're going to kind of squish that down to something like this. That looks fine, that looks fine. And we're just going to grab this, go to Mesh and Combine, right click Vertex, drag, select the whole top part there, push that down, and because we're doing that, it's no longer where it should be, right? So we're going to bring that in to about there, and the proportions look better now, and there you have it. Now one thing that I always notice is when you create something like this, the pillows are way too straight, looks way too clean, and that kind of stuff, right? So we're going to grab this, we're going to right click, go to Vertex, and we grab a bunch of vertices, and actually I'll do it with holding the tab key. So we got that. Hit B on the keyboard, left click and drag, and we're going to kind of manipulate the shape a little bit, right? So typically a couch like this, I mean that's a bit much maybe, but you get the idea, right? So we're going to do that here as well, and oh, there's that funny business again. We're going to do that here. We're going to just tweak it ever so slightly. Normally, just to give you an idea, the process of manipulating these pillows until they're to my liking, we're looking at an hour plus, right? Just so you're aware, all right? Okay. Yeah, good. We're going to do the same here, right? So I'll just do 1 or 2, but again, take your time, right? Now we have the armrests. They're cutting into the pillow. We don't want that, right? This guy. So we need to fix that. So what we're going to do is we are going to insert edge loop. Let's go to 1. Hit B to turn off soft select. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is something slightly different. First of all, make sure that that soft select is turned off. So we can do two things. We can create the pillows so they shape around it, or we can do that cutout, right? And I think what I want to do is the cutout for sure. So actually, let me just grab these and replace them, right? So we're gonna grab a, what are we gonna do? We're gonna grab a polygon plane, why not? We're gonna W, where is it? Let me create my plane. Right there, move that up, hit W, move it over. We're gonna close this, we're gonna go to the attribute editor, we're gonna set that to 1 by 1. 1 by 1, there you go. We're going to bring that down, bring that in. Grab these, push that in, soft select is still selected, turn that off. So we're going to do something like this, right? Grab them here, push that in as well. Then we're going to go to edge, Control E to extrude. And what we'll do is we'll pull that out to about here. Then we'll hit G to repeat, and we'll hit W again. And then we'll pull that out here. Just extend it out a little bit. Then we're going to grab this guy and we're going to extend that out in this direction. And then we'll have these out in that direction. Alright, then we're going to go to object mode. We're going to hit extrude. Let's do, that's a bit much. 0.15 maybe, 0.15, that's good. So we got that cut out, let's put that in place. All right, then we're gonna go in here, we're gonna go to edge, grab that, and that, bevel, 0.65, let's do 3, looks good. Then we're going to go in here and we're going to grab all the edges. Then we're going to jump to this view, shift select the vertical edges, bevel to, there you go, that looks better. Alright, we're going to select it, we're going to Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J, flip it around like so, hit W, push it out here, of course it needs to be raised up. Why is that guy right there? No idea. Item, yep. So this guy needs to come out a little bit. you go. So that looks good. And yeah, let's see. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this guy. We're going to go to mesh and combine. So that's going to be our couch. Then we're going to Control D to duplicate. Move it over. Go to mesh and separate. And let's turn this into a chair, right? So we're going to grab these guys. We're going to delete all that. Then we're going to grab all of this. We're going to go to mesh and combine. Wait a minute. No, that's a little bit too quick. We need to get rid of these guys. So the ones that are not behind the chair, we're going to delete those. We're going to hold the end one. Let's have a look in the back here. I think this one needs to go as well. Delete. Then we're going to go in here in object mode. Mesh and combine. Right click vertex, drag select. We're going to move all this. And let's see if we can make that work. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks pretty spot on to me. Yeah, good. All right, so then what we're gonna do is grab this, hit Control D to duplicate again. Move that over. Go to mesh and combine. That one's already combined, that one as well. That one as well. Yep. Then we're going to go to display. We're going to go to show all. And this is all still way too big. So let's undo that. Grab these, move that away for a second. Go to display and show all. This was all still in meters. So let's move that over here. We're going to grab all of this. We're going to Control G to group. We're going to hit R to scale it down. And let's raise that up a little bit so it's on our grid. Then we'll go and look for our couches. Where did they go? They're over there. Bring them back in here after frame. Of course they're too big, so we're gonna scale that down. And then we're gonna start to put them in place. So hit W, bring that in here, E to rotate, hold on J, flip that around. After getting close, all right, let's push that over, push that in. And we lost that one guy, but that's all okay. I'm gonna extend this a little bit. So we're gonna get a face, hold down the tab key, and then just push that out like so. That looks to be the correct size. I'm gonna say yes. What I can do to find that out quickly is grab this guy, move him over here, flip him around, put his butt on the couch. And by doing that, you can see already that the couch is too big, right? Couch is definitely too big. So we're going to grab it, we're going to scale it down. Bring it in. Maybe a little bit bigger, but not much. Tiny bit, tiny bit. It's going to raise up onto its legs. There you go. That to me looks like the correct proportions. So we'll leave him on the couch. He's watching something on TV. Let's get him in there. Center of that pillow. The couch needs to move a little bit. We want it centered in front of the TV. So we're going to grab the guy. We're going to put him over here. And let's just see if this is correctly centered. That is. This guy needs to come over. Okay, cool. So we got this guy, and looks like I just moved the top of the table, which is kind of annoying. Mission combine. All right. Let's see if our guy's good. He's sitting in midair. And I measured his proportions, so it needs to come up a little bit, but at the very least I need to be able to do that. Yep. Yeah, I'm not happy with it, guys. I'm going to do a little bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is this, because I think this is the right proportion, size, everything. What I need to do here now is to extend the legs just a tiny bit. So we're going to go in here, we're going to direct select these to the floor. So we have a couch, and I don't need to bring in two chairs. I can bring in one and copy it. So that's an easy scaling thing, because we just have to match the height, right? So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna set it on the floor like so. Then we're gonna go and hit the insert key so we can move the pivot point. And we're gonna move it to right there. Hit the insert key again. And now I can hit scale, bring that armrest down until it's a match, as you can see right here. So now we can go and rotate this guy so it's somewhat facing that way. W, move that over a little bit, and there you go. We now have a couch and a chair, right? Okay, bit of a long video, but nevertheless, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.